I never felt comfortable when I was growing up because I was gay, but I also never felt fully like part of gay world, right? Just the classic, we're going out gay world. Like
this is one of your blocks, and I'm extremely interested in it because can I tell you what it looked like from the outside, or my questions from the outside before you get started? With your absolute direct first person experience, I need to meddle.
Get in here.
You don't present especially gay, right? Is that intentional? Or that's because part of me is like, I don't know, just you don't seem, but at the same time, you seem like yourself.
That is the question. I think a lot of gay people struggle. Everybody struggles with it. You know, like the RuPaul line, like we're all born naked and the rest is drag. Like, am I less flamboyant because I am self-hating? Is it my natural instinct? Was it because I was trained to not be my true self? Why is it that when I'm having a serious conversation, I sound more like this? But if I'm getting silly, the lilt gets a little bit stronger. What does that say? Is that natural? What is the cause of that? But then the other part of it that's like been like kind of like making me kind of question things is...
You just did a shiver that was pretty impressive. Maybe the best shiver I've seen certainly on this podcast. Go ahead.
Great for the YouTube. Okay, well, I ended up with a trans person. Like, I was never straight. I'm not straight, right? But like, I always assumed when I was a kid, when you were a kid, there weren't so many letters. You know, there just weren't so many letters. Like, if you weren't straight, you were gay. When I was a kid, being bi was a joke, right? That if a guy said he was bi, it's because he's secretly gay, and if a woman says she's bi, it's because she's secretly straight. Whatever, it was like a joke. I didn't know about the T, the Q. I was just hearing about the Q. The Q was just coming out, and so I was just gay.
Are you writing for Chappelle now? What's happening? Did we switch places?
Yeah, this is
no, go ahead.
The alphabet people.
All I was gonna say is like, I think probably part of why I never felt totally at home in like capital G gay culture is like maybe I didn't totally fit into that definition, right? I because of my generation, like I don't feel comfortable calling myself queer. It just feels wrong. Like it feels, I don't know, it just never felt right to me. But probably like just the way people use it, it more accurately describes me as a person. And it doesn't matter. Like but that's just the reality of it, which is why I think it's like now I look back and it's like, well, yeah, I was like never totally at ease in this world because it's not totally my world.
And from the outside in, like you're like, I am queer, but to me it sounds like Dungeons and Dragons language. Like, I don't know what are you queer? I don't know.
It also just doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it also just doesn't matter. Yeah, but also like I'm also a weird guy. Like it's like I'll struggle at any party. There's no party. There's no party where I'm not going to be at the outside of it being like, how do people talk to each other? What are they talking about?
Yeah. And then that's what I think a lot of modern life is like. Life's hard. And then we try to ascribe the reason why it's hard. And it's like, no, it's hard because it's hard. It's not hard because you're a fish out of water or you're black or you're gay or what. It's just like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard independent of that.
Yeah. And I think we intellectualize our feelings a lot, and we use our brains to tell stories, to put kind of meaning and narrative to why we do what we do or why we feel the way we feel. It's like you wake up in a bad mood, it's because it's raining. You wake up in a good mood because it's sunny, but it has nothing to do with that. You're looking outside and ascribing a cause to a feeling that was in your body when you woke up that morning.
Yeah. It's just chemical,
most
likely. Or, again, who knows? But we know that there are just like innate, you're going to be in a good mood, bad mood, too much sleep, REM. If you have a fitness watch, then you can get into types of sleep. I'm a big REM guy.
Great. People wear these Apple Watches to the movies.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, that's a screen, you fucking jerks. That's a bright little screen on your... I don't care that you're keeping track of your steps. Turn that thing off.
I'm young. What's a movie? What is that? Old man, please tell me what a movie is. Okay, I want to ask one more question about, did you find being gay and you were not in especially hetero spaces, right? You've always been in like you're a democratic up. So you're pretty, it's pretty comfortable. Was it ever excruciating? Was it ever like, I wish this wasn't the case? Or was it just like, this is what it is and it's awesome, whatever. Tons of benefits.
So I went to Williams College, which is a sports college in rural Massachusetts. Great decision for a closeted Jewish gay kid to make from Long Island. Great decision.
Why did you make that decision?
It's a great school. They had a great math. There were reasonable reasons to do it. I joke about it now. But like, it was a strange place for me to choose. I'm glad I did. I made great friends. I had a great time there. It's a strange choice. But I remember when I got there, I was meeting people for the first time that like grew up around like money and who went to elite private schools and had like been on private jets and had been to Europe and all these things. And like, I had a very privileged upbringing, but like my family had a box factory and they did well, but we had a middle class energy. And that was their childhood. That was my childhood. And I remember learning that like, oh, there's like a breeziness to the way these people interact with each other. A kind of perfect balance between gratitude and belonging, like never acting as if the world totally is theirs for the taking, but never acting as though they should be bashful about taking it. There's a difference. There's a difference. It's an ease that I had to learn to pretend to have. And I learned from it that like, oh, this is a language of success that we have everywhere, that like that is an energy people who successfully do job interviews bring to that interview, right? Not too much gratitude, not too much arrogance, right? Like it's just, it's an energy that you need to carry. That feeling of being on the outside of that is similar to like a feeling of being on the outside of a certain kind of ease that straight men have with each other, that only really exists when straight men are alone and comfortable, and gay guys can gain access to it when they can hang. But then if they're like that like if you have a feminine energy in that space, you are coded differently. And that's not anyone's fault. It's not even bad, right? Gay guys together have a language that a straight guy would have to kind of delicately balance. And women, when like I remember I worked for Hillary Clinton, that was an office led by women, and men were sometimes a little bit on the outside of it and had to learn how to navigate it, right? Like that's true of any space.
Everyone's code switching all the time. This idea of the last 5 years where it's like, only we have to code switch. It's like, no, everyone is code switching from interaction to interaction.
Like I do Pilates. There are straight guys that show up at Pilates and like they're welcome, but they gotta be on their best behavior.
I've been that guy.
That's a feminine space. And whenever I go to Pilates, I like kind of really throw on the gay. You gotta just be like, you're doing like, just because
you mince.
I mince a bit. I mince. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
No.
I turn it up.
I
turn it up.
There's a gauge. I don't want to say where it is, but there's a gauge.
Oh, there's a gauge. There's a gauge. And it's where you think it is.
Yep. And you twist it and
boy.
Let's leave it. Love it.
Welcome to Love It or Leave It. But like I like that to me is what for me like a lot of like the experience of being gay can be outside of like relationships, like in work and in life. It's like, oh, like navigating when you're kind of, and by the way, same on the other side, like when you're like one of the girls and when you're one of the guys. And the great part about it, the best part about being gay outside of, not even women is
you kind of fucked that up. But go ahead.
Yeah.
You find a way to ruin it. That's your thing.
That's right. But I think what you said was wrong. But
I know. Well, no. What's funny is you've never really been this kind of person. You've never been that into condemnation. I want to talk about that. This whole
Let's talk about
section of the last. So you were saying that you've been code switching. I want to finish this thought, which is you've been code switching. It's fine. It's understandable. It was never a albatross on your life.
All I was going to say is I've always felt, and similar to the way I think you sometimes feel, which is just like always, and it's a comedian's energy too, which is sort of like you're kind of on the outside a little bit and you're like, are these people not thinking about how they're talking? Are they just talking? That's amazing. They're just in there talking.
Yeah.
They're not saying something and thinking about how it's playing. They're just talking.
Yep.
And I feel like I did that when I was in the closet, and I did that when I was trying to fit it in school, and I did that when I was with gay people. I did that with women. I did that with straight people. I've always done that. And it's just been part of what I've navigated. And then you think, well, that's not because of that's because of my fucked up brain.
Yeah. Hey, you should like and subscribe.